Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, hi, what's poppin'? My name is Tobiloba Sarah, and actually this video I'm recording again. I already recorded it, I already edited it, but I mistakenly deleted the clips. I know, it's really painful, but yeah, I have to record it again. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you on analysis paralysis, or idea of analysis as I love to call it. But before we get right into it, quickly watch this video I made sometime in June. Very popular saying, too much of analysis leads to paralysis, and it's a very valid one, because this is the reason a lot of beautiful ideas don't make it to the execution stage. So idea of analysis, as I love to call it, is basically when an individual or a group of individuals superfluously dissect a particular idea until it remains nothing. Idea of analysis can look like overthinking the challenges that can come with executing a particular idea till you convince yourself that that idea is probably not a good one. Idea of analysis can be caused by low self-esteem, that is, you do not believe in yourself. Talk less of being positive about your ideas. You would also most likely experience idea of analysis if you are in the perfectionist category. And let me quickly highlight that perfectionism and excellence are not in the same category. Perfectionism deprives you of flexibility and creativity, which is very essential for the execution and sustenance of any idea or any goal. So the thing about overanalyzing your idea is that oftentimes the problem is not your idea. The problem is you, your mindset, your view of the idea. So the solution to this problem is not waiting for a better or a greater idea. The solution to this problem is improving your mindset. I mean, you might need mind or soul cleansing, just so that you have a better and a clearer sense of identity. And this will greatly affect the kind of ideas you would have, the value you place on them, and the execution of those ideas. Analysis paralysis is basically when someone or a group of people surround themselves with too many alternatives, too many choices as regards the action plan of the execution of a particular idea, or as regards making a particular decision. Analysis paralysis is something that you probably would have experienced if you've tried to start something new. Maybe you've tried to execute a particular business idea that you had, or something like that. Planning and preparation, analyzing your idea and everything is very brilliant. But analysis paralysis really set in when you have a perception that all the ideas you have towards executing your grand idea, when you have a perception that those ideas are not solid enough, that perception can sort of lead you to an infinite search for the very best. And while you're looking for the very best, you can get exhausted, and you might start to convince yourself that that idea was probably not a good idea. Oftentimes when you hear people say, when you have an idea, just start. Don't think too deep, just start it. They know what they are saying, oftentimes analysis paralysis can either help you to gain mastery. I mean, over and over again, when you experience analysis paralysis here and there, and you're not able to execute different ideas that you have, and then you probably have another idea and you just decide that, okay, I'm not even going to overthink this thing, I'm just going to do it anyway. So when that idea sort of ends up well, you definitely have learned something new, and that will sort of refine your mindset about executing a particular idea. So analysis paralysis can actually help you to gain mastery when it comes to execution, but it does not always end that way for some people. For some people, they just totally get withdrawn because they probably just have to feel like maybe they're not good enough, or maybe they're not ready enough to start anything by themselves, or maybe they don't have the prerequisite knowledge to do anything new. So as I apparently said, analysis paralysis can actually can cause mental exhaustion. It actually causes mental exhaustion. You just get to that point where you probably begin to feel like you probably begin to wonder why you just cannot get things done, right? And sometimes you can begin to question, maybe it is the kind of ideas that you're having, without knowing that it is your perspective that you really need to change. Because sometimes you don't know how many opportunities that you have lost because you did not execute a particular idea. It's very important that we are well informed about analysis paralysis so that we can know how to manage it, how to spot it, and how to manage it. Now, different scenarios or different situations can lead to the occurrence or the consistent occurrence of analysis paralysis. I'm going to be listing a few that came to mind. So the very first scenario, the first occurrence that can lead to the or the very first thing that can lead to the occurrence of analysis paralysis is if you are looking out for the wrong things as regards the execution of an idea. So when I say wrong, I don't mean bad. What I really mean is when you're looking out for what is not the most important as regards the execution of that idea, you might end up experiencing analysis paralysis. And let me give you an example of somebody that wants to probably go, okay, so let's take for example somebody who is is just starting out in business, you are interested in selling cars. Now, the wrong thing for you to be thinking at that point, knowing fully well you're just starting in the business, you don't even really know much about it. You probably don't even really know much about the whole business of selling cars and all of that. The wrong thing for you to be looking at that point is for you to be researching, or for you to be looking for ways with which you personally can start shipping in cars by yourself. If you focus your research on how you alone can start reaching out to car manufacturers so that you can deal directly with them, so that nobody can share your profit with you, best believe you are going to get tired one way or the other, because the more you get yourself into that research, the more you get yourself into that process, you begin to see how insufficient you are, and before you know it, you would have lost the energy that you ought to use to primarily start that car business. You might get exposed to too much information that can literally crumble your beautiful idea. So for this kind of person, you might begin to tell yourself, or you might begin to think that maybe it is the car idea that is the problem. So when you're looking out to execute any idea, you want to make sure that you're asking the right questions. You want to make sure that you are looking out for the best possible solution, something that is within your reach presently, right? You want to make sure that the energy that you experience when your idea drops, you want to make sure that you rightfully use that energy to start to get into the execution of that idea. And when you get into it, it's going to be easier for you to scale through. It will be easier for you to scale through different processes, and it will be easy for you to grow successfully in whatever field that you find yourself. For every stage in your creative journey, for every stage in your execution journey, there's always an energy that backs it up, right? So you want to make sure that you make good use of that energy, so that energy can also get transformed and get bigger, right, for your greater levels. Now, my second point is analysis paralysis can occur when you are too exposed to too many alternatives, too many choices as regards the action plan for the execution of your idea, or for the to make a particular decision. And when you get exposed to too many choices, choice paralysis set in, because now there is this, you become too careful. You become very, very careful, because you want to now make the best choice, among the many choices that you have at hand. There is something called Paradox of Choice by Barry Schwartz. You might want to check his TED Talk out. That TED Talk is about 15 years old. It's on YouTube. You might want to check it out. Just check Paradox of Choice by Barry Schwartz. It's a very, very amazing one, right? And basically one of the things that Barry Schwartz was trying to talk about when it comes to paradox of choice, or if you could read articles about paradox of choice, what he was basically trying to talk about is that when you are exposed to too many choices, oh yes, it can lead to you making a better result. It can lead to you having a better result. But the other flip to it is that, number one, you would be there would be this dissatisfaction that you would have, even if you end up making a particular choice, because there is still something that is telling you that, oh, maybe one of the other choices I left might have done better. And it can also lead to mental exhaustion. It can lead to analysis paralysis. It can lead to anxiety. It can lead to depression. So I'm a big believer of, when it looks like there are too many choices and you have to choose one, I'm a big believer of the fact that you probably need to take a break. You don't have to take that. I'm a big believer of, you don't have to make that choice. You don't have to make that decision instantly, right? Sometimes you just need to take a break, just to be focused, just to really know what you want to do, just to define your goal, just to know what you really, really want to get. Because it's when you know what you want to get that you'd be able to really to properly scrutinize the choices that you already have at hand, to really see if those choices are what you really want, or maybe you have to scrap them all and now set out for what you're truly looking out for. So when it looks like you're presented with so many choices, this reminds me of when the Bible says in Genesis 2 that it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make for him a helper who is stable and complementary for him. And God brought different animals God brought different animals to Adam to see what he was going to name them, right? And then he named all the livestock, he named all the animals, and the Bible further said God caused God caused Adam to sleep, and he took one of his ribs, closed up his flesh, created a woman, and presented the woman to Adam. And when Adam saw the woman, he said, now Now, this is the bone of my bone, this is the flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman. There is a definitive understanding of your goal or the purpose of your goal that is needed if you're going to make the best choice, especially when it looks like you're presented with so many choices. So when it looks like you're presented with so many options or so many choices, you want to make sure that you do not lose the aim of that goal. You do not lose the understanding of the goal, because that is what will help you to see through the many choices that you seem to have at hand. Now, another point is, if you're suffering from any form of a tweaked sense of identity, if you have a tweaked sense of identity, maybe you're suffering from low self-esteem. I feel like I talk a bit too much about low self-esteem, maybe because I've experienced it before and I know how it can literally debilitate you. But for real though, if you have a tweaked sense of your identity, analysis paralysis can be your regular activity, because there would always be that unnecessary pressure, right? So I'm a big believer of sometimes you have to go for personal development before business branding. So generally, I believe that there are two kinds of upgrades that can serve as metamorphic tools, taking you from where you are to where you ought to be. One, mind upgrade. Two, skill upgrade. So skill upgrade is sort of more popular because they are in form of master class, advanced class, and these are very, very beautiful. But one of the things I've really come to realize is that what a lot of people need in their life for that moment in their life is mind upgrade. This is not me undermining the power of skill upgrade, but it's very, very important that wherever you are in life, whenever you think that you need any form of upgrade, it's very important that you know the kind of upgrade that you need in your life, because there are a lot of people who know a lot of things as regards a particular industry, as regards a particular field, but because they're not in the right state of mind, they're not able to operate fully in that capacity. So if you are in a point in your life where you feel like you can literally see people who you probably know a particular skill more than, but they seem to be doing way better, but you on the other hand, who even seems to know a lot of things, you're finding it hard to really stretch and operate fully in the capacity of what you know or what you have acquired, right? You might really need to invest in mind upgrade. So when you invest in mind upgrade, you know, your mind will get modified. You would be helped to get more connected to the crux of your being. You would be helped to pay little or no importance to the superficial things that are not helping you to experience tremendous progress. In fact, it will be easier for you to maximally utilize whatever skill upgrade you go for. So another point that is a bit similar to the first one is when you are in the perfectionist category. Oftentimes perfectionism comes with this stiffness that does not allow you to explore creativity. To be sincere with you, perfectionism sort of shuts out that place of progress and process, because you just want to get to the very, very end at the beginning. Excellence will help you to make the best of what you presently have at hand, and perfectionism will make you believe that what you have at hand is not enough to execute your idea. Perfectionism is not a good boy. But for real, you want to make sure that you are very interested in achieving your goals and whatever insufficiencies or inadequacies that might be around you. So very quickly, I'm going to be sharing a few things that could help you manage or prevent analysis paralysis. The very first one is you want to be realistic with your goals. It is very, very okay to dream big. It's very, very okay to have big goals, but it is also very, very possible that those goals are truly, truly feasible, like they are truly real to you, right? You know that it's very possible that you have big goals. You don't have all that it takes to achieve those goals, but there is a level of confidence that can set your mind in the right space. Yeah, it's very, very important that your goals are very, very realistic to you. You know, one thing I've discovered about setting goals and achieving anything is that sometimes you don't even know, you don't even really understand the hugeness. You don't know how big that goal is until you really, until you're on track, right? Until you're really on that pathway that is leading to the achievement of that goal, right? So you want to make sure that your goals are realistic to you, and that is why I talked about mind upgrade the other time. They're going to help you to look out for the right things. They're going to help you to look out for the right partners. They're going to help you to look out for the right action plans for the fulfillment fulfillment of your goal. The second one, which I feel like I don't know if it should have come first, is you want to have a clear understanding of your goal. It's pretty similar to the first one I talked about. Having a clear understanding of your goal is imperative. It's very, very important. It's very, very crucial, because when you have a clear understanding of your goal, it will be easier for you to spot out the things that are not in accordance with the fulfillment of that goal. Another thing that could help is you want to break down your long-term goals, your big goals. You want to break them down into smaller bits. You want to break them down into smaller goals, and whenever you achieve those small goals, please celebrate it, because one way or the other, you are closer to the achievement of your big goal. So you want to make sure that you simplify your big goals, your long-term goals. Distribute them into your daily activities. Make sure that you're always doing something about the fulfillment, the execution of your idea and of your goal. Don't rush yourself. Flow with the process. As a business owner that is probably just starting out, there is really no point trying to block your head with getting the best website designer, the best social media manager, the best this, the best that. A lot of DIYs you would have to do for yourself. Take classes to improve yourself. This is not me undermining the importance of having, the best machines, the best social media managers. This is not me undermining it, right? In fact, when you begin to solidify the structures of your business, these are the things that you definitely have to put into consideration, right? But when you are starting out, you really don't want to burden yourself with things like that, because when you are focusing on those kind of things, you just wake up one morning and say you're no more doing again, just because you just feel like, oh, maybe you're not ready, you feel like you're not sufficient enough, maybe you need to, there are a lot of things, so you want to really don't bother yourself with unnecessary things, basically. So another point is, if you are looking out to execute a particular idea or to make a particular decision, asking for another person's advice is a very great idea. We can never undermine the power, of a great community. If you feel like you're experiencing any form of blockage, you might want to just share your idea with the right person. And sometimes it might just be one word that the person will say, just one statement, one sentence, and it will literally just connect every dots that you've had in your head. So it's very, very important that you, if you feel like you're experiencing any form of blockage, or you're setting out in a particular field or something, you want to definitely ask the right questions from the right people, so that they could help direct you and give you the best advice that you need. So with that, we've come to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I actually did, even though I'm recording it for the second time. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I would see you in my next video. Bye.